Welcome back to The Edge. Time now for our game time segment. Football in the rearview mirror. Heading backwards. It's time to move inside from the hardwood to the hardwood from the gridiron as the basketball season underway. The high schools around our area has been underway for a couple of weeks. Joined now by Doug Ritchie, prep expert, and a lot of excitement, I think, for our area as we start to head toward basketball season. We're in basketball season, but now we kind of focus on it, and a lot of very talented players, some really good teams.
Really good teams, really good players. It could be a copy of last year when we had some Pulaski win the boys state championship, some multiple girls teams win state titles. I think we're going to have a lot of good stuff, and there are a lot of good individual players. Even though some graduated, we're loaded. We have a good area for hoops.
It's going to be interesting to see just kind of who the new players are that kind of come out and see it. No, we're going to take a look at both the boys and the girls now that all the football players are now playing again for those that had the long state runs. But we'll begin with the boys, and we start in the Valley. The FVA and some quality teams who have had a chance really to show a little something this season. And Oshkosh North, one of those teams who was hoping to repeat some of their success from last year.
Yep, state semis last year. Ran into a team named Germantown, but Nate Neville, Cooper Radke and company, they have a very good chance of getting back there again. Well,
they're hoping to be able to do that. And last year they were able to take on and defeat the Neenah Rockets late in that season. And Neenah coming back, they've got a lot of talent coming back.
A lot of talent. Matt Helt there at 6'10", not too hard to dunk when you're 6'10". Adam Pullman, a very good point guard, both all-conference guys. And maybe if North doesn't go to state, maybe this is the team that does from that area.
They've got a lot of quickness on the outside, height on the inside. High school basketball, that can go a long way. Neenah Rockets hoping to live up to their potential this year.
Every single game is going to be a battle. No matter if you're near the end of the season and you're at the top and going against a team that's, maybe towards the bottom half, they're still going to compete. And on any given night, anybody will beat anybody. If you don't come with your best game every night, you're going to get beat.
I think with the experience, so I think we can be a better team. We got to put the pieces together. We got a lot of great guys, a lot of good people around the program in practice every day. We really got to bring it.
Basketball experience always good as you get those kids that played a lot as underclassmen, and once they cycle through. Appleton West, another team in this conference that is really hoping to kind of make the leap this year.
Last year beat De Pere to start the season, then they just kind of held. And I think this year Appleton West was some of that disappointment from last year. Could challenge Neenah North. Matt Reeder, a very good player for them.
We talked about Neenah losing late last year to Oshkosh North, and then that first round upset really kind of threw them for a loop.
Yeah, they beat Fond du Lac 8 days earlier, so they just kind of thought, we'll beat them again and make a long run in the postseason. That's tough against conference foes. Sometimes that happens.
As we mentioned, some of the great football players for that Oshkosh North team also playing basketball, and we'll see them after last year's run to the semifinals 2013. Well, let's move to the FRCC. It's been a chance to be a very even conference this year, Doug, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's mediocre. It means there's a lot of great talent evenly split out. And De Pere is one of those teams, and this is some of them from last year, but they do have some underclassmen coming back.
Yeah, Brevin Pritzel, who's been there, junior now, who's going to get a D1 scholarship somewhere eventually. He's going to lead them, but De Pere's De Pere. They lose guys like Adam Beyer there. You know what? They're going to come back with more players. Yeah, that's just the way De Pere does it. They're going to be at the top of the FRCC.
Yeah, they're always able to kind of jump up and jump out, and we've seen De Pere, both the boys and the girls, are always very solid, very competitive. And as you mentioned, Pritzel, who averaged 17 points a game last season, and hoping to get off to a big start this year.
Yeah, nothing should change with him. He'll score.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move a little further up the Fox River. We go to the Bay. Well, we see lots of future college talent this year. We've got plenty of big-time players who are going to be playing at the next level, and if you're going to see a Seymour Thunder game, you're probably going to see a dunk from Sandy Cohen.
You're going to see a dunk from Sandy Cohen, maybe like that. You might see a dunk from Dakota Oski. Cohen obviously going to Marquette, Oski going to St. Norbert. This is a terrific duo that can do a lot of things, and this might be Dakota going up for two.
They're pretty good. Oh, then, of course, West De Pere also is going to be very competitive there as well, as you've got with West De Pere, you've got Deke Foss, and you've got good
Cody Schwartz. Yeah. Cody Schwartz, a D1 recruit, only a junior. Deke Foss going to Richmond. They knocked Seymour off last year and won the Bay title. These two teams obviously played twice this year. Go to these games. I'm telling you, they're well worth it.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see some guys that are going to be going to major talent. I mean, Marquette, the Richmond Spiders. I mean, these teams are really good teams. You mentioned Cody Schwartz. I mean, 19 points a game. He's
a player.
He's really kind of coming into his own. And the fact that Seymour's got their top 5 scorers returning from last year, we were a little surprised they didn't do a little better than they did last year. We kind of expected even more of them last year. I think this is another one of those John Murphy teams that's going to be able to really jump out.
Yeah, Cohen and Oski are seniors. It's do or die now. Last year they got knocked off by someone named Shawball, Pulaski. But Seymour's going to go a long way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's move now to the girls. Girls' turn. We're going to start in the FRCC. The road to the Resch beginning once again. And Sarah Boyarodi and the Tritons of Notre Dame hoping to return to the Resch this year. But also, Southwest is going to give them a good shake.
Yeah, Natisha Heidemann can shoot with anybody, as you can see right there. Only a junior. She's a D1 recruit eventually. They're going to be good. Obviously, the team to beat is probably Notre Dame based off the gold ball they won last year.
Yeah, well, they were pretty good last year,
yes.
Winning a state title, one of 3 girls teams to win state titles around here. And they're, you know, with Sarah Boyarodi, kind of knows how to get these girls motivated. They really feel like they connect with her, and she's done a real good job out there.
Yep, Allie Leclerc, her first 2 games, 23 and then 37. She's ready for Green Bay, but she's got to play with Notre Dame a little bit longer. But 30 points per game, not bad.
And they know that that last year may have been a state title. This year's going to be a little different with different teams gunning for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling just because we know we have a target on our back, and it's a good like motivation too at the same time. So we know what we can do, but at the same time, we know that we have to work hard to get where we were last year.
I mean, I think it's the same feeling. We have no new players this year, so I think that's exciting too. But obviously our main goal is to get back to state and win it.
I think the FRCC is going to be really tough. I mean, I look at the teams in our conference and I don't really see anybody that's going to have a weak team, to be quite honest. It's going to be, I feel like every game we play is going to be tough.
Well, doing our best Lou Holtz impersonation
Yep.
there. Saying every team we play is going to be the best team that's ever played. FRCC last year, we talked about De Pere from last year, but Notre Dame got hot in the tournament, and boy, you get a hot team in the tournament and off you go.
De Pere, Dave Johnson back coaching. Pretty much a brand new team, but Carly Serrato and company, they're going to be there. Bayport, Claire Jordan, Morgan Freeman, and also Sheboygan North keeping an eye out for them.
Yeah, of course, De Pere were losing to Kimberly in the out there in the playoffs, and that was kind of a
Yes.
big loss. Let's go to the Fox Valley Association now. Got a couple of marquee names in this conference, and we're speaking of Kimberly. One of them is in Kimberly as well.
Yeah, Frankie Wirtz, this girl, one of the top 2 or 3 players in our area. She can shoot, she can make it happen for other kids, plays defense. This might be a broken record, but she's a Division I recruit also, but only a junior. This kid can just do everything.
Yeah, exactly. Kimberly didn't make it all the way to state last year, but they're going to be tough to beat this year for sure. Well, in the Bay, we've seen some very dominant teams as of late. Some are hoping to pick off where they left off last year, including New London, a point away from playing Notre Dame last year. And boy, what a disappointment that was. But Oconto Falls, also a team that is hoping to improve on last year.
Yeah, they got this girl, McKenna Larson, who does a lot of things well too. Great basketball player.
Great softball pitcher.
Great softball, great volleyball. She'll end up going to college for softball and volleyball, but she can score over 1,000 already. She makes it go for them.
Well, let's talk New London here. You know, they were so close and were on such a roll last year and had a heartbreak loss in this play right there at state.
Yep, Mickey Rowland, Lexi Rowland, Amber Pethke. They lost their opener at Appleton East by 4, but don't be fooled by that. Troy Krause is back. He will have this team playing deep into the postseason because that's what New London does.
Well, you mentioned they lost that season opener to Appleton East, but you know they had that winning streak, that long winning streak that was finally snapped, and you know maybe they're looking to start a new one. You know that 68-game winning streak that was going from last year. We talked about McKenna Larson as well, and for Oconto Falls, 2 of those losses last year were to New London.
Yes.
So you know, hey, no shame losing to New London. New London, pretty good. For sure, pretty good at basketball. So
yes,
yeah, very good. Well, like football, basketball games run throughout the week, pretty much any day, but Sunday, of course.
Yep, that Jude Wilbers has the best plays that Northeast Wisconsin has had to offer from the last 7 days.
The high school basketball season getting underway in earnest this week. Let's take a look at the top plays from the week that was. Coming in at play number 5, Bayport's Connor Fugelstad gets to the rack, gets the 2, plus the foul for the Pirates against Appleton West. On to number 4, Xavier's Sam Burkhart, another 3-point play. This one ties up the Hawks matchup with Appleton East. Watch as he finishes through the contact. He would make his free throw as well. Play number 3, same town, different game. Matt Reeder feeds Austin Burlick for the reverse lay-in. Let's look at that one again. Nice teamwork, nice ball movement from the Appleton West Terrace, and it turns into a nice layup and good finish on the other end. Number 2 comes to us from the ladies, a double whammy here in play number 2. Natisha Heidemann of Green Bay Southwest thinks she beat the buzzer. Lakin James says Not so fast, my friend. James hits a 3/4 court shot. She gets it to rattle in. That is what I call a shooter's touch from Miss James. And at number 1, Casey Jeffson of Seymour the steal. Sandy Cohen shows us why it's play number 1. Let's look at that one again. Look at this in slow motion. That is Harlem Globetrotter-esque as Jeffson throws it off of the backboard for Sandy Cohen. And those are your top 5 plays from the high school hardwood for this week. Let's send it back to Drew and Doug.